the 26th edition of the JK Tyre FMSCI National Racing Championship. We're in Coimbatore for round 1, and race 3 of the day is the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup 2023. It will be a 10-lap race where we'll have 25 bikers racing and trying to get that win. Of the grid of 25, we'll have 10 professionals and 15 amateurs. That's how the grid looks like. It's Jagdish Nagarajan at P1, Anand at P2, Abhishek Vasudev at P3, Ullas Nanda at P4, Surya PM at P5, Vignesh Gaur at P6, Rajkumar at P7, Mohammad Samrul Zubair at P8. We got Kayan Zubin Patel at P9, Rohan at P10, Bharat Balan at P11, Prabhu at P12. We got Uday Prakash at P13, Kaushik Ganesan at P14, Pradeep starting at P15. Then you got Varun Patel at P16, Seshadri at P17, Sriram S at P18, Revadhar at P19, Ashish Rumta starting at P20, followed by Akhil Krishna JS at P21. P22 will be Jayant Pratipati, Deepak Kumar will be at P23, and Rajeshwaran at P24, while Venkatesan Ayyappan will start way back at P25. Before we head to the start of the race, very quickly we'll go towards the racetrack where we have Saumil catching up with the riders.
Race 1, round 1 of the Royal Enfield GTR 650 Cup. We're here with the pole setter Jagdish. Mate, your first race in the championship as well, and you've taken pole. What was qualifying like for you personally?
It was really exciting in qualifying because I had few plans for qualifying set. I think I executed it really well. So I got my pole position for the first race of GT Cup this year.
And there are so many great riders behind you as well. What can we expect from your riding style? How aggressive are you normally, and what's on your mind before the race?
I think I'm not really aggressive rider, but I plan my moves accordingly. Every other rider's idea is to take the checkered flag first. I'm also here for that. I'm fighting for that.
And who do you think will be your biggest competitor in the race?
I think top 5 will be the biggest competitors. I think they're also experienced riders, and there are few riders from last year's batch as well. So they will be the competition for me.
Stay safe. All the best, mate. Have a good one. We're here with the rider in P2, Anand. Anand, firstly, great qualifying. Many congratulations on that. What's going on in your mind before the first race of the season?
Actually, this is my first season. I tried my best. I did my best in the qualify, so I am second. In the race, I tried to push hard so that I can finish first. So I'm going to enjoy the race. That's it.
Hopefully it goes well. All the best. And now, back to Karthik.
Right then, we're ready, moments away, just a minute away in fact, from the start of the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup 2023. First race of this category, and let me remind you, this is a Pro-Am series where you'll have professionals as well as amateurs part of the same grid in this race. 25 bikers will be up ahead against each other. Last season's winners, Sudhir Sudhakar, along with Anish Damodar Shetty and Alvin Xavier, not part of the setup this time round as the riders go for the formation lap. Although Abhishek Vasudev, who was part of the Endurance League Cup winning team, he is one of those who is taking part in the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup as a professional. Abhishek, the lad from Bangalore. We talk about Abhishek, he will be starting at P3. Jagdish Nagarajan, what a qualifying he had. He starts at P1, talking about the qualifying times. Jagdish had a minute 17.013, followed by Anand, who was a 1 minute 17.815, and Abhishek Vasudev 1 minute 17.891. So about 0.802. The difference between Jagdish and Anand. Jagdish comes from Bangalore. We got a local lad here as well, Rohan from Coimbatore, along with Uday Prakash as well. And we got Sriram S who starts at P18, also from Coimbatore. So 10 professionals and 15 amateurs on the same grid. Remember, last season's amateur category winner, Surya PM, has now graduated to the professionals category. Remember, Surya came first in the amateur category, got 85 points, while Rajkumar finished third in the amateur category last season with 44 points. He has also now graduated up to the professional level. Rajkumar, another lad from Coimbatore, the local lad. There'll be a lot of hopes from him as the formation lap is over. So we're moments away from the start. As you can see, it's very windy conditions here in Coimbatore. Surya PM starts at P5. We'll keep an eye out for him as well. He is in bike number 2. Off they go. It's a very, very good start there for Jagdish Nagarajan, who started at P1. You can see bike number 2 of Surya as well, making a very good start. But it is, at the moment, Jagdish Nagarajan who's leading the pack. And oh my word, straight away, corner 1, there's a big incident. Skidding on that turn. Both of them raise their hands to acknowledge that they're both okay. One of the riders has just rushed off the track while the second one is trying to get his bike up. This is what happened coming in that corner. Bike number 7, and that's Rajkumar, the local lad, just slipping, and another bike colliding with him. It seems that is bike number 2, if I'm not wrong, and that is Surya PM, the champion from the amateur category last season. So that's the end, it seems, of the race for Rajkumar and Surya. Yes, it is Surya who's limping away, as you can see. Gets into one of the cars, while bike number 7, Rajkumar, is able to get up. He's able to get his bike up as well. Well, what a start, what a turn of events. Straight away at corner 1 at the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, and the race has been red flagged. Joining me now in the commentary box is Saumil Arora, back from his track duties. Well, not the start we were expecting.
No, absolutely not. It's firstly great to see that both the riders are okay, but let's look at how this melee happened. Rajkumar dipping with the front, heading into turn number 1. It happens. It's a common mistake to make. Even though Rajkumar is a very experienced rider who's been racing since 2015, he just lost the front. And when you're in that kerfuffle, when there's so many riders into one corner, someone has got to be taken out, right? You can't go down alone. Unfortunately for him, Surya PM was the one who got taken out with it. The great thing is, all the riders are okay. The bad thing is the bike isn't. Look at Surya PM's clip-ons. They're facing the wrong way down. That bike will take a while to get repaired, and that's really unfortunate. But touch wood, rider okay. Take a look at him. Number 7 drops it a little bit at the front, and there's nothing Surya can do. And what can he do there? He can't go straight on into the dirt. He just has to take the fall. And I'm glad that they're both all right.
Absolutely. Both of them very quickly onto their feet and trying to get off the track. Eventually, well, it was, as Saumil said, taking that first corner, first left, and just that little bit of dip, a little bit of skid, and Surya, well, he certainly just could not do anything about that. But Jagdishan Nagarajan had a good start. He was well ahead of everyone. That's Jagdishan bike number 1. And this will be very interesting now. Surya PM. Well, obviously you said there's a lot of damage to the bike. You can see the clip-ons. You can see the front visor as well of the bike broken. So that'll need some repairing as well. Hopefully it should be okay for tomorrow's race for Surya. And also obviously for Rajkumar as well.
It's interesting you mentioned that, because Surya has been trying to get as much momentum as possible in all the practice sessions, to the point where in one of the practice sessions he actually sat back after putting in a good lap because he wanted to conserve his tires for a race like this one. He knows how much these points are valuable, and so something like this is a big dent, especially considering how riders like Jagdish and Anand are really putting their A game to the test over here. So tough luck for him. Unfortunately, it's a tricky start, but also on Rajkumar's error. Let's not forget, ladies and gentlemen, no ABS, no TC on these bikes. Absolutely raw as it gets. So those errors, so tricky in those moments.
Windy conditions in Coimbatore at the Karibota Speedway. We'll be talking about this, close to about 14 to 15 kilometers per hour. That's the speed of the wind blowing across the racetrack. Just a quick reminder, the race has been red flagged, so it will start again. We've already lost Surya PM and Raj Kumar for this race. Hopefully they'll be back for tomorrow. There's a little incident on the first corner, and that was the end of the race for both of them. Surya, once again reminding you, he was the champion of the amateur category last season with 85 points. And while in the professionals category, Alvin Xavier was the winner, followed by Anish Damodar Shetty, and Sudhir Sudhakar came in third. 49 points for Alvin Xavier, 42 for Anish, and 34 for Sudhir Sudhakar. None of them are here in this round at the moment, and we have a couple of amateurs who graduated from the amateur category onto the professionals. As you can see, the position in the grid number 5 is empty. That was Surya PM, and along with him, Rajkumar, grid number 7, also empty. So that's the end of the race for both of them. Now, talking about these bikes, the 648cc parallel twin engines, these are mega heavy bikes, close to about 180 to 200 kilograms. And if you take a fall, as you said, very glad that both of them were fine, because these bikes can cause a bit of damage because they are very heavy. Although slight modifications done to get them for racing. The exhaust has been lifted a little bit, along with a couple of more modifications. It will, again, because it was red flagged, it will be a 10-lap race, and we will have the restart in about 3 minutes now.
I love this bike. You should just be here in Coimbatore, honestly, to witness it. At home, there's a lot that you can see that adds to its charm, but what you can hear at the circuit is something that you have to experience in person, because when they roar, my God, it can leave you A, deaf, and be absolutely excited, because there's nothing quite like witnessing a Royal Enfield go racing. It's a Royal Enfield, guys. Even though it might be a Continental GT, even though it might have quite a fair bit of racing history in the past, it's still an Enfield. And so watching these riders tame this 185 kg bike is quite something. It weighs a lot, but it can give you so much momentum if you get it right, which is what is so amazing to watch. Just how can they tackle this Coimbatore circuit to get the best lap times off? And remember, in qualifying, they were doing 1 minute 17-second lap times. That is genuinely very, very impressive, all things considered. So, speaks a lot about the talent of the riders and also the bike. But on the restart, it's also going to be that mental game, Karthik. Can they survive A again? And also B, make sure that they get a good run off? Because so many riders coming behind you, there's a lot that can potentially go wrong.
And now, in front of Mohammed Samrul Zubair, there's an empty spot, so he can have a right go. Same for Rohanar, who starts at P10 with no Rajkumar in P7. He's got a clear road ahead of him. And once again, eyes will be on Jagdish Nagarajan, how he starts as well. Obviously, there will be a formation lap where obviously you mean there's no overtaking allowed. Talking about the Royal Enfield and the slight modification, we spoke about the exhaust. There has been about stiffening of the suspension as well, and shedding 24 kgs, fitting a sleek race fairing. This is what's made these bikes competition ready, and also makes it manageable for novice as well as potentially highly capable racers as well.
And 14 kilos of those 24 have just come from the exhaust. 14 kilos flat. They've taken out and put a stainless steel exhaust right here, which really adds up to the performance as well. Roughly around 10 to 12% is what the engineers are claiming. And off we go once again for the formation lap. This is where the riders have got to get comfortable. And I can't tell you how the noise is suddenly amplified out here at the Curry Motor Speedway. It suddenly feels like we're in a giant bowl of noise, and it's beautiful noise. That Royal Enfield engine, we've seen it in the Super Meteor, the Continental GT650R, also in the Interceptor as well. It works. It works so well as a street engine. And the best part, Karthik, that very same engine is being raced on this bike. So if you want to experience part of the thrill, I'm sure the whole bike cannot be brought down to the road, at least part of it can be felt with those ongoing road versions of the Continental GT650. And that is something that really astounds me, that this is something you can race on Sunday and literally ride back home on Monday as well.
Well, I think that's good, isn't it? You can take it out for a spin and then go to office with the same bike as well. Well, obviously, Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup was introduced in India a couple of seasons ago in 2021. And it was inspired by the
Hey.
purest cycling culture of 1960s. The Continental GT Cup Series is obviously, while being ridiculously heavy, it's still fun and safe. And we have multiple victories for the Royal Enfield over the years, in the last 100 years or so, including team wins at the Isle of Man TT, along with the International 6-day trial, 1960s Big Bear Run. And also we had Royal Enfield rider Paul Young win the Wheels and Wave Punks Peak Sprint on the GT 650. And also Curtis Wright came second on his GT60 as well. So certainly no stranger to racing this bike, no stranger to racing Royal Enfield, and this platform gives young Indian racers a very, very good avenue to pursue motorsports and also two-wheeler racing.
We'll talk about the history and all that stuff in a short bit because it's really fascinating and there's so many more things that we all should know about it. But we're ready to go once again, Karthik. The green flag has been waved. In a second, the red flag will be dropped as well. And the action in the GTR 650 Cup will be back. We've already had one start. It didn't quite go very well for Surya PM and also for the home hero as well that we had early on. But crashes are a part of it. Let's make sure that everyone is clean. Jagdish Nagaraj is in P1. And again, we now have more fun battles to watch for all the way through.
So we will be starting. You can see the flag as well. The marshal is struggling to hold on to the flag, and that tells you
Windy, yeah.
how windy it is. And obviously that also adds to the challenge for these bikers. We'll have Jagdish start at P1, followed by Anand at P2, and Abhishek Vasudev, who was one of the winners of the Endurance Cup last season.
Yep.
He's now part of the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, and he'd be looking to make a mark here as well.
And just take a look at the grid as well. All the riders with the red numbers, the pros, all the ones with the red numbers are amateurs, and the black numbers are the pros. So watch out for the difference in speed and also the techniques. So a lot that can be learned. But it's time to go racing now. All the chatter is over and done with. Let's get to the action at last.
For the second time.
Indeed.
Now off they go once again. A very, very good start here for Jagdish. And in fact, it's a good start for Vignesh Gaur as well. Bike number 17, you can see. Very quickly now moving in from through that first corner. This time no incident as of yet. Going through corner number 2. And that is a good and a clean start here. Jagdish maintains his position at the top. He is at P1. Started at P1. He's leading the race. And now we'll just have to wait and watch where are the amateurs at. Station, remember, in bike number 1. And that's bike number 8 on your screen. That's Shishadri S, the lad from Bangalore. It is bike 1 continuing to lead, followed by bike number 10. And that's Ullas Nanda, again another rider from Bangalore. Very good start for Jagdish. Jagdish, in fact, Jagdish Natarajan, another Bangalore gentleman. Couple of Bangaloreans leading the way straight away. And it will be interesting to see the first red numbered bike on that track, and it seems it is bike number 17. That's Vignesh Gaur, the lad from Hyderabad. And remember, during qualifying, Vignesh's fastest lap time was deleted as per Appendix 21, serial number 13. It was a slight violation, and despite all of that, Vignesh managed to get a decent position as far as the grid was concerned.
No!
And whoa!
That is a big one. That is an absolute big one. Our main bike, Jagdish Nagaraj, from the lead, has absolutely binned it at turn number 1. The front end locking up. It happens. This bike has no ABS. He was completely in the clean. And then in a snap of a second, in a snap of a finger, it's all gone for him from the race lead. That one will pain Karthik. Not just physically, more mentally, I'd say, because he seems to be okay, which is great. But the fact is, he's dropped it from the lead all on his own, and that is such a tricky one.
And you can see the disappointment in his body language as well. He had opened up a decent lead ahead of Ullas Nanda. And just on that first corner, coming in, braking a little bit too hard, and then just diving in. And that was, and that in fact is the end of the race for Jagdish Nagarajan. So we've already lost Jagdish Nagarajan, Surya PM. and Rajkumar in the professional category. He will be taken back to the pits. And this is what happened.
It just seems like a loss of concentration at one fine moment because he was turning in the bike a bit too early. Didn't really have the best line as well heading into the corner. And it can happen as a rider. There are moments where sometimes things get broken off. But look at this! Vignesh from the lead, the leading amateur who was leading the race in the overall category, has also gone down at turn number 1. The best of the very best can really lose it right here. It's a tricky bike to manage. And the second time in a row, the leader has lost the race in turn number 1. What's going on here?
Well, it is the curse of the turn. That is what you can call it. Once again, coming in this in a very similar fashion to what we saw when the race was initially started. Then obviously it was red flagged, and then again what we saw with Jagdish Nagarajan is when on that turn, just not able to control, and that's the end of the race for Vignesh God. He was going for the lead, and remember he's one of the amateurs, and he was taking on Ullas Nanda, who's a professional, but in the end, as the end of the race, Ullas Nanda now, bike number 10, as you can see on your screen, is leading. He is followed by a few of his teammates, including Anand R. Anand started at P2, lost some ground, but thanks to a couple of incidents ahead of him, he has regained his position. And bike number 21, that's Mohammad Sumral Zubair. He is in third and leading as far as the amateurs are concerned, and now coming in and trying to make his move to take second position in the overall. As far as Abhishek Vasudev, he is in third at the moment. So it's Ullas Nanda followed by Anand R and Abhishek Vasudev with regards to the pros. And in fact, in the amateurs, it is none other than Mohammad Sumral Zubair who is in contention. These are the front four. And while we've got another incident here on the track, it's good to see the bike very quickly on his feet, trying to lift the bike up to get it on with. But it's never easy. I told you it's about 180 odd kilograms. That's Sridham S, the local from Coimbatore, just going in, and that's what happened there. I must have heard a bit. That'll be bruising in the morning, that's for sure.
No, the momentum just really wasn't there. He leaned in a little bit too much. The bike just couldn't carry it through. And Sriram won another rider who's bitten the dust, unfortunately, in this race. But the battle for the lead is immense. They're swapping paint heavily. Ullas Nanda and Anandar for P1 and P2. Both the professionals showing the world why they deserve to be in the top two. Hard, clean racing, but both of them making sure that everything goes on well. Touchwood, no rider has crashed heading into turn 1 this time out. So that's a great sign once again. But Anand now bringing in the fight. He's known to be one of the calmer riders on the grid. And I wonder how he'll tackle this race, because we've only got 6 more laps to go. The challenge is huge. Ullas Nanda has been fantastic so far this afternoon. Breaking him apart and getting the race win is going to be quite a task for him.
You can draw a few anomalies from here in this race from last season. It was a very similar battle that's going on between Ullas Nanda and Anand right now. That was between Alvin Xavier and Anish Damodar Shetty. And amongst the top, there was one amateur who was pushing, and that was Surya PM last season. And this time it's Mohammad Samrul Zubair. So a few similarities coming in here in the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. Round 1, race 1 of this category in the 2023 edition. And well, so far we've had 4 riders retire already, including likes of Jagdishan, Surya PM, Rajkumar, and also Sriram S. But no such problem at the moment for Ullas Nanda and Anand R, who continuing to battle for that top spot. Coming on to that tricky corner 1 once again, this time fairly done and nicely down to corner 2, then onto that back curve, corner 3, no problem as such here. In fact, Abhishek Vasudev has now moved up to second. He's third, in fact, I beg your pardon. He's clocked the fastest lap as Abhishek, 1 minute 17.758 seconds. As far as the amateurs are concerned, it's still the leader is Mohammad Samrul Zubair.
And for context, Abhishek Vasudev's lap time was incredible. Nobody on the track, not even Anandar and Ullas Nanda, have been getting close to it. Anand in P2 was 3/10 slower than Abhishek in P3, and Ullas, well, he was 5/10 slower than that. So what Abhishek Vasudev, the 33-year-old, is achieving at the moment is incredible. The fact that they're all able to keep up with each other cleanly really goes to show how good of riders they are. But one small moment, one small snap of concentration could break things apart. So they've got to be really careful. And now Mohammad Samrul Zubair getting the move past once again. So he's getting past Abhishek Vasudev, constantly reminding the world that he shouldn't quite be in the amateur category. Let's see how he can sustain it. But now we've got a battle for the lead. Anand going down the inside for a bit, going against it now. He realizes that there's not enough line. And that's the thing that you have to do, Karthik. They cannot really change their lines heading into a corner. These bikes are so heavy. Look at this one. Anand making the move with full commitment, getting up into P1. This is what he's waited for quite a while. He saw the line coming, committed to it. Didn't quite go past anywhere at the beginning, but eventually getting past very well.
That's Hari Singh there with a huge smile on his face. And wonderful, wonderful maneuver. But it seems that Ullas Nanda will get his lead back. Breaking a bit late, losing positions once again. It's all happening. And it is Ananda once again who's got the race lead back. Going in a bit too hard. There was Ullas Nanda.
We take a quick look at the stewards for this race, but this is interesting, all the swapping around that's been going about right here. And all this just benefits Anand at the top, because what he needs with 4 laps to go is more momentum, more time to showcase why he's a good rider. And the same for Mohammad Samrul Zubair as well. He can't be afford to be fighting with anyone. He needs more space, more clean laps at the moment.
And one small mistake has cost Ullas a lot. He was in first and now he's dropped down to, I think, about 4th at the moment. And Mohammad Samrul has moved up to 2nd. Can you imagine? He's an amateur and he's giving these pros a good run for their money. Abhishek Vasudev in 3rd. Ullas has dropped down to 4th. And Bharat Balan, another one of the amateurs, he is in 5th. That's the race control room, with the officials keeping a keen eye on what's happening around the racetrack. Every inch of the racetrack is covered. Well, as you go on the back straight, coming in once again, Anand are being put under pressure by the amateur, Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Vasudev is in 3rd. Ullas, we'd be dreading that one mistake that he made on the back, going through straight and missing out on that opportunity to take and keep his lead. Keeping a strict vigil on things, keeping close eye on what's happening on the racetrack. The officials in the race control room. Not very far away from where we're seated. In fact, next room is the race control room from the media box. As we come through towards the end of lap number 8, it is Anand who's leading, put under immense pressure by Mohammad Samrul and Abhishek Vasudev. About half a second behind Samrul and Ullas Nanda, another close to a second behind. So it's still anyone's race to win in the 1, 2 and 3 and 4.
And that was a major move right there. Mohammad Samrul Zubair as an amateur getting past Anand, who's bumping his way up to P1. This is brilliant. An amateur versus a pro for the race lead, and Anand showing why their years of experience matter. Yes, he's only been racing for 2 more years than Mohammad, but nevertheless, putting his money where his mouth is and getting P1 back in. And Abhishek Vasudev as well getting back in the fight. This is interesting. For context, Abhishek has been racing for 9 more years than Mohammad Samrul Zubair. This is his opportunity to show where the experience counts. At the moment, Ullas Nanda isn't quite able to catch in, so it's all on these 3 to put up a big show. And I've got to give credit to Mohammad Samrul Zubair. He is keeping his calm so well. He's keeping to his lines. Abhishek is the one who has to go around and maybe take the awkward lines to get past. But Mohammad, my word, he's doing a great job as an amateur. Going wide, taking the risk in that case and opening up the door, but he's confident in his ability. He will be giving away the door though, Karthik. That's going to be a problem heading into turn 1.
And also, the fact that his result doesn't affect the standing as far as the amateurs are concerned and the pros are concerned.
Yep.
As far as the pro category is concerned, it's Anand followed by Abhishek and then Ullas. While in the amateurs, it's Mohammad Samrul who's far ahead, way ahead. He's then followed by Bharat Balan, who's light years behind. So it's not about that he will get to the top of the podium. if he finishes first. He's anyways top of the podium in the amateur category, but the way he's racing, the way he's challenging Anand for that top spot, the overall top spot, is very heartening to see, and it tells you that this young lad, he's going to make, he's got a very bright future ahead of him, and might just follow Surya's footsteps into the professional category maybe next season or the season after.
Which is what we love to see, right? Riders pushing above their limits quite a fair bit. And this is amazing. Battles are going to be there all the way through. We're getting to see some more really fun fights. This is Varun Patil up against Seshadri S. And this, folks, is for P9 overall. Things are going to be fun right here. But we've got to get our attention back to the leaders, because Anand, ever since he's got a little bit more space, a little bit more calmness, he has dominated. Coming across the final corner, what a ride. Amidst all the chaos, Anandar taking the win.
There's Anand, who started at P1, takes the checkered flag, followed by Abhishek Vasudev, and then you have Ullas Nanda finishing third. And these are the results from the pro category. And as far as the amateurs are concerned, it is Mohammad Samrul Zubair who takes the top spot at the podium. He's followed by Bharat Balan, and in third will be, if I'm correct, I think it might be Jayant Pradipati. We'll have to wait for the confirmation coming in. But what a race we've just had. A tremendous from Anand to go on and take the checkered flag. We had early incidents where was the end of the race for Jagdish, and it was the end of the race for Surya PM. It was the end of the race for Sriram S along with Raj Kumar. But what a race we've just witnessed. Terrific. And to see an amateur going on tire to tire, challenging one of the pros, is so heartening to see. And that tells you the future is certainly very, very bright for this young man, Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Started at P8 overall and went on to finish second overall. First, obviously, in his amateur category. And that's the race winner as far as the pro category is concerned. Bike number 4, Anand R, the lad from Chennai. He's gone on to take the checkered flag and start the weekend off in the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup with a win. Full points for him. That's the overall winners as far as this race is concerned. Anand R, Mohammad Samrul Zubair and Abhishek Vasudev. However, Mohammad Samrul will be in the amateurs category. So for the pros, it's Anand R, Abhishek Vasudev and Ullas Nanda. Tremendous race. We've had obviously a couple of incidents happening, but overall it was very, very entertaining. Let's quickly take you through the highlights of what's just transpired here in the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup Race 1 in this category. It was Jagdishan and Anandar who had started at P1. It was a very good start for Jagdishan, also for Anand and Abhishek Vasudev. Although corner number 1, there you see, that was bike number 7 of Raj Kumar just skidding and slipping, and collateral damage was Surya PM, who was right behind him, just couldn't do anything. And there you see a couple of bikes straight away out of action, but it was good to see both of them up on their feet rather quickly, checking on each other's wellness, well-being. And then the race obviously had to be red flagged. That's when they all lined up once again. That was Surya's bike, Surya PM, the champion in the amateurs category last season. After the restart, once again, Jagdishan had a very, very good start. He seems to have got working with his bike so well. And there you see, tremendous start for him. Tremendous start, in fact, for Vignesh Gaur as well in bike number 17. He was one of the amateurs, there you see. And then coming in through that first corner, second corner, and no problem as such there. But Jagdish Nagarajan had a tremendous start. He was closely followed by Ullas Nanda and also likes of Anand and Abhishek Vasudev. But big moves were made by Mohammad Samrul Zubair. In the amateurs category, remember he started at P8, very quickly moved up the order and showed why he is one of the amateurs that you'll have to keep a keen eye on. Coming in there, that was the end of the race for Jagdish. Nagrajan coming in too hard, braking too hard and losing the balance, skidding off the bike. The flag that came out, but not for too long. Continued with the race, and those couple of incidents allowed Ullas Nanda to take the lead. That was Vignesh Gaur. He was one of the amateurs who was leading. He was having a very good race, putting a lot of pressure on the pros, but in the end, just could not hold on. And that battle started between Anand R and Ullas Nanda. Both of them were going tie to tie. That was the end of the race for Sriram S, another one of the amateurs, the lad from Coimbatore, the local boy. But no such problem was happening apart from obviously the relentless pressure from Anand. No problem for Ullas Nanda, although it was that one bit of mistake that cost him. You can see bike number 21 in 4th position at the moment. That was of Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Despite being an amateur, he's giving the pros a good run for their money. In fact, from 4th, by this time it moved up to 3rd now as the battle for 1st and 2nd continued. That's where Anand made his move, coming in on the inside, taking the race lead away from Ullas Nanda. But Ullas once again was going tire to tire, and on the inside on that turn, coming in, going slightly wide there was Ullas Nanda, and that allowed Anand as well as Mohammad Samrul to move ahead. And not just that, in fact, it also allowed Abhishek Vasudev to steal 3rd position, and Ullas Nanda dropped down to 4th. Although 3rd in the pro category, overall he dropped down to 4th. But what a race by this young man, bike number 21, Mohammad Samrul. I keep repeating it, he's an amateur, but he's having a right go at the pros. And in fact, he could have won the race as well had it not been for Anand and his brilliant biking skills. That's where he tried to make his move, but Anand showing the years of experience and closing on that line, keeping the lead with himself. That's the overall read. But commendable effort here coming in from Mohammad Samrul. Brilliant. That certainly was brilliant. Although Anand and Abhishek Vasudev along with Ullas Nanda, they'll be very, very happy with the result. Ullas might just be a tad bit disappointed because he was leading, but at the end he had to let it go. Anand coming up with the checkered flag. Now moving on to the prize distribution ceremony. In the amateurs category, it was Bharat Balan who came in 2nd. We've got Vaibhav Sharma there on the stage for the prize distribution ceremony. And Uday Prakash took the 3rd position in the amateurs. So first we'll go ahead with the amateurs prize distribution. Coming in 3rd was Uday Prakash S, the local lad from Coimbatore. Bharat Balan from Bangalore coming in 2nd. And your race winner, Mohammad Samrul Zubair, the lad from Hyderabad, taking the top spot on the podium. So your winners in the amateur category, it's Mohammad Samrul, Bharat Balan and Uday Prakash.
Bharat Balan from Bangalore. Well done, Bharat. The winner takes it all, and this guy is a talent to watch out for. Samrul Zubair, copper number 21. Well done
You
indeed.
can see Weber Sharma there from the RE contingent handing over the trophies
Gentlemen,
to
raise your
these
trophies,
young
please.
bikers from the amateur
Raise your
category.
trophies, please.
Once again, reiterating your 1, 2,
Thank
3,
you, gentlemen.
Mohammad
We're moving
Samrul,
down
Bharat
to the
Balan
next presentation.
and
now
Uday
request
Prakash.
On stage, Mr. SP Batrina to please come forward. A man who requires no introduction, from the Isle of Man to the man who's really fond of bikes to the racing in the Batras circuit. He's done it all. And what a mentor to find when you are getting the Royal Enfield Continental GD Cup. So Mr. SP Batrina will come forward on stage.
Now we'll move on to the professional category. Remember, it is a pro-am circuit with professionals, 10 professionals and 15 amateurs being part of the same grid. Coming in as the second runner-up, Ullas Nanda. Ullas will be a tad bit disappointed because he was doing very well. He was the race leader, but in the end, one small mistake and he fell from first back down to fourth in the overall category. That's Abhishek Vasudev. He was the champion of the Endurance League, one part of the team last season. He's moved up to the Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup, has done a good job coming in second. And your race winner, Anand R. Tremendous from him, despite a lot of pressure coming in from Mohammad Samrul. He kept his cool, showed his experience and went on to win the race. So very quickly confirming your 1, 2 and 3 in the professional category of the JK Tyre presents Royal Enfield Continental GT Cup. It is Anand R who takes the top position at the podium, followed by Abhishek Vasudev, and Ullas Nanda has to stay content with third position on the podium. A race full of drama, full of chase, full of action, full of entertainment. And after 10 laps, initially a red flag as well, we have our winners. Just to confirm, in the pro category, Anand R, Abhishek Vasudevan and Ullas Nanda, your winners. While in the amateurs category, it was Mohammad Samrul Zubair, followed by Bharat Balan and Uday Prakash S. A word of praise certainly for Mohammad Samrul Zubair. Was an amateur and finished second overall. Very quickly we'll go towards the presentation area where we've got Somil catching up with the race winners.
Ullas, P3 in your category. Many congratulations firstly. Your thoughts on the race. How do you feel?
Sri Chamundeshwari Kupa, first podium. So I don't like to celebrate, as we know our dearest race recently passed away. So this is for him. So yeah, I made a couple of mistakes. I need to improve in the mid race. So I look forward and I'll improve. But I really felt sorry for Jagdish, my brother from Bangalore. He unfortunately had a crash in front of me. Next race, we're going to fight. Yeah,
Congrats, man. Great stuff. We should now also move towards the rider in P2. We'll have Anand Vasudev here in a second. Great stuff, man. Good ride. What a race that was made. P2 eventually. The battles were insane. What are your thoughts on the race?
Oof, quite an intense race. Whatever SP left me with on the grid, finished the race, was ringing in my mind, and I was taking it easy for the first 6 laps for sure. And I'm glad I did that because I think I really saved some lives that's just slid in front of my eyes, man. And I missed their neck by this much, their head by this much, 2-3 riders just going out. I'm glad I could save those crashes and not run over them. And then I started gunning it. Ullas was really fast. He was carrying a lot of place, but all over the place, man. And he's a light guy. I'm quite a heavy guy compared to him. So when I did really make a move on him, it was a hard move. I did exit the last corner, taking a defensive line and not, definitely not giving him my slipstream because he's a light guy. He's already light, man. Push it on the corners. And to clock the fastest lap gives me the affirmation that I got it going good for tomorrow. I just hope I haven't eaten enough of the tires. The kind of rider that I am, I tend to eat a lot of tires. And man, I just hope she has enough grip for tomorrow's race. We're going for first place tomorrow.
Fingers crossed, man. Great job. We should now throw back to Karthik in the comms box.